A key characteristic of those who self-sabotage is making excuses for why they don't succeed. We don't succeed. I've been guilty of this. And I've heard all kinds of excuses from other people I've observed in others, not really realizing that they're sabotaging themselves. But I've been just, in fact, incredibly guilty of exactly this. And I want to unpack my two most common, my two biggest excuses. One of them is lack of time, and the other is lack of money. Now, as I said in a previous video, I have in the past, and to some extent still doing, kept myself really busy, still keeping myself busy. And I kept myself busy because I needed to feel like I was getting somewhere, even though I wasn't. I wasn't getting anywhere because I was keeping myself busy doing stuff, but not exactly busy doing productive things. And as I said in my previous video, was avoiding tackling the space between my ears, my overall unhappiness, avoiding giving much thought about what I really wanted, and dealing with myself. And it was an avoidance technique, an excuse. I'm too busy, I can't do anything more, I've got so much on my plate, I couldn't possibly fit anything else in. It's just an excuse. Time is all about priorities. We're all blessed with exactly the same amount of hours every day. Some people get a whole heap done, others don't. But parameters of 24 hours a day, 60 minutes an hour, doesn't change for any of us. What you do with the time is what matters. And I wasn't very good at using time. Better now, more focused than I've been in a long time. But it's taken me years to get to this point. Some real soul searching over these last few months, and a good few tears, I can promise you. So time isn't an excuse. Time is all about priorities. Where are your priorities? Are you doing the things that will take you where you want to go? Are you spending time in the right areas? Are you giving time to yourself and your own well-being? Are you just using your time wisely? It's not an excuse. Not enough time is not an excuse. If you're spending an hour and a half a day on social media, I promise you're wasting well over an hour on social media. It's wasting time. If you're spending a couple of hours watching television every day, I promise you it's wasting time. You could be putting that time to something much better for you, your life, your future, your circumstances, your family, your business, whatever. So time's not an excuse. I've had to swallow that pill. Begin to adjust my own thinking on that. What am I doing with my time? My other excuse was not enough money. And this is a tough nut to crack. I was brought up pretty much in poverty. There were times when my parents couldn't afford a school uniform. In fact, I got detentions because I wasn't wearing a school uniform. My parents simply couldn't afford it. There were plenty of times when we went to school without breakfast because we simply had no food in the house. Now, I don't want your pity here. These are just the facts. I've long since reconciled this situation. But the hangover is that I grew up with a poverty mentality, thinking that there's just not enough money. I don't have enough money. And as a result, it stopped me from doing a lot of things because I didn't feel like I could afford it, because I needed to hang on to whatever money I had. And it stopped me from, having some of the things I want. However, I'm now beginning to adjust to a different way of thinking, and this is a tough nut to crack. This really is. I'm starting to think that put it into my head that there is enough money in the world. Maybe I didn't think there's enough money in my experience, but out there is no shortage. And I need to change my thinking if I want to change my finances. Now I'm working on this, but I've had a lifetime since I was really, really small of thinking there's not enough money. I'm looking at ways to do things without spending any or much money. There often is ways to have fun without and enjoy your life and get things without wasting a ton of money. Beginning to ask the question, how can I do this without spending much money? I haven't invested in my business, even when my business was doing well, because I didn't believe that I had enough money. That was a short-sighted way to think. I haven't invested in my own personal development because I felt that I couldn't afford it. The key question is, can I afford not to? So this one is being worked on. Not saying I'm doing well now, but my thinking is certainly adjusting. My thinking is certainly changing. I'm taking away the excuse of I don't have enough money or there isn't enough money. And funnily enough, I'm beginning to see seeds of improvement here. Because ultimately, if you change the way you think, you change your whole life. I'm 56 years old. I've had a lifetime of what Zig Ziglar calls stinking thinking. This will likely take some work, but I'm up to the challenge. I want a better life. So I've taken away the excuse of not enough time. I've started working on my priorities. What are my priorities? What do I want, and is what I'm doing right now taking me there? And as for money, I'm starting to think and believe that I've always had enough money for what I needed. That's always been the case. And I'm embedding that belief that I have enough money for what I need. I'm also embedding the belief that there is plenty I can get done without spending a bunch of money or any money. Now this one will likely take some time, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm beginning to see the picture improve and change. And as I see the picture improve and change, it reinforces my belief that there is enough money. There is enough money out there. And there is enough money in my life to do what I want to do. So there we go, 2 excuses tackled. Not saying I got it 100% perfect, I certainly don't. But now you know what I'm doing to work on it. If you have these excuses, I just work on them. Take an approach. I'm going to be looking at other excuses as well, some of the things that are not so prevalent in my life, but are definitely there. But I've tackled the 2 biggest, time and money. And I know that these are big deals for other people. So as ever, thanks for watching. If you've got questions, please ask in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help as best I can.